Hey everyone, I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today is day 5 of our 5 days of drawing faces series, and it's going to be a little bit of a different video because I want to show you my trip to the art gallery. I went to the art gallery because I wanted to explore different faces and see what's hanging in the art gallery, because I know it isn't perfect faces. It is faces that are drawn in many and painted in many different ways and many different styles. Some faces look like faces and some faces don't look like faces, but I think it's important to explore those in museums and art galleries and just seeing all the different ways that faces are explored in the art world. So I am going to, I'd say flip the camera over, but what I'm going to do is show you the video of my trip to the art gallery, and then we are going to look at a book, explore self-portraits, and some different art supplies, and I hope you join me for this fun-filled last day of this Drawing Faces series. This was a really fun art exhibition, and I love how there was a lot of open space to see and look at all these different textiles from different angles. This was my favorite. This was some of your favorite products of the past, but in textile format. I really, really enjoyed this one. I probably could have stayed longer and looked at this particular one, but then I kept going around. And this is just faces. These are faces that are sewn into a quilt. And I was mesmerized by this particular artwork. And as luck would have it, I actually have a book on this artist that we're going to look at today and explore faces further. For this particular drawing session, I'm going to use one of these notebooks that I got. It's a Nota notebook. I have about 5 of them, and I'm going to dedicate one to self-portraits because I'll be doing more of these. And you can use whatever art supplies you have. Like I said, I'm probably going to start with some ink and then color these in. And the first one that I'm going to start with is the Picasso style, but a self-portrait. And also I want to keep in mind that this is a self-portrait. And for me, it's more about how I feel about myself in a kind way, rather than that self-criticism, self-judgment that we regularly, I think, feel for ourselves, maybe. So it's time to explore self-portraits. These self-portraits are a little different than, I think, normal self-portraits that you would do. It's not about getting the perfect drawing of yourself and perfect proportions. This is really about self-love and thinking about the things that make you you, not necessarily who you are when you look in the mirror. So instead of asking, what do I look like? You're going to ask yourself, how do I feel about who I am? But focus on the good. What is it that you love about yourself? What is it that you love about your life, your hobbies, your family? So as you begin this process, even if you're doing the Picasso one, it doesn't matter which one you're doing, think about what represents you beyond your appearance. I mean, you can include different shapes, you can include different colors, lines, you do kind of have to let go to see what evolves. And at this stage of the drawing, I still haven't perfectly let go. I think it's only after I got this part done that I let go and included things that I really loved and felt like me, that weren't really not always tangible. You know, the colors and the patterns and how you put things together. This is a great exercise because you start to really, when you let go, it's really authentic. You're really putting yourself all out there on the paper. So I'm so glad I have a book that I'm going to fill with self-portraits, and maybe I'll show you at the end of April, and we can look and page through them. So you want your portrait to be honest, but not perfect. It's not about creating realistic. It's about creating something meaningful, something that reflects how you see yourself and your journey in life. And it's exciting because if you do this for a whole month, which I'm not going to commit to, but I know I'm going to do, but if you do it for a whole month, you could see how you see yourself or feel about yourself and how that changes every day. You're not one fixed image. You are complex, evolving, and full of different emotions and experiences. So the point is to let this drawing reflect that. And a self-portrait, in this case, for this activity, it's not just about capturing your face. It's about capturing your perspective and how you feel about yourself, but in a positive way and authentically. That's something only you can create. This is my Picasso-style self-portrait, and nothing you do has to make sense when it comes to creating art and self-portraits. There is a tree that I love when I'm walking my dog. I always stand under this tree. Once you start letting go in your drawing, anything comes out. I didn't really expect the tree or the hearts, but there they are. And I can't wait to put that away and then look back at it later and see how it makes me feel. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is the side profile. Again, this is not trying to be an exact self-portrait. I suppose that when you think of self-portrait, this is more, stay loose. How do you perceive yourself? I'm not looking in a mirror or looking at a photo. It's just sort of, how do you see yourself? So it's not so much for me this, am I getting my profile correct? Am I getting my nose right? Any of those things, because as you know, I don't strive to create faces that I don't strive to create perfect faces. Nothing that I do is perfect, but I think the message is in the things that you include in the artwork. So let's see how this turns out. This is the final drawing for the side profile. I just did whatever I felt like. It's not about trying to draw yourself perfectly. It's not about perfection. It's really about just letting what's inside you come out onto the paper. I started with the gel pen, the Sharpie gel pen in red, and then I outlined it with the Faber-Castell acrylic marker, just a black acrylic marker. I colored it in with some Artex acrylic markers. And then I just really felt like going over it with some oil pastels. Now, I haven't had my oil pastels out in a very, very long time, but for whatever reason, I just felt like adding that to this particular drawing, and I really love how this turned out. So we've got 2 drawings so far, self-portraits, how you see yourself. This is the side profile. This is the Picasso self-portrait. I'm going to do one more and we will see what comes out. I will have to put paper in between this so that it doesn't smudge because I don't have any spray fixative for this. If you use oil pastels, it doesn't really, I can't say it ever perfectly dries unless you spray it, which is why I haven't used it in a while. But I will get some probably wax paper and put it in between, and then I am going to turn the page and start drawing one more self-portrait. For this self-portrait, I decided to do the front-facing one, and I did a few of these. I think I show you 2 in this video. Not the full process, just because it took a long time. But I did 2 front-facing drawings, self-portraits, including my daughter. And these were really fun to do. I was really enjoying the colors and the markers and all of it. I think when it comes to drawing self-portraits, but the focus isn't on, you know, you looking in the mirror and you're doing a self-portrait of what is meaningful to you, or what you're thinking about when you're thinking about yourself. A lot of people think about their families or, you know, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing here. And I actually really enjoyed how this turned out. These are the final self-portraits that I did, front facing, basically doing whatever I want. I liked this one, but then I flipped over and I wanted to get the birds in there because I love to draw birds. So that is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed the self-portrait last day of the 5 days of how to sketch faces. I'm not sure which one is my favorite, but this was my first try at that front-facing one, and then this one, and then this one. I think I kind of just like the pencil drawing. I want to thank you so much for joining me on the 5 days of drawing art series. We are going to have more of those coming up. I'm not sure what we have coming up next. I will let you know. In the meantime, I have some more videos coming up, art tutorials, and I hope you join me on those. Let me know in the comments how this 5 days of drawing faces series went for you and what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you so much, everyone, for subscribing, your comments, and for joining me on this art journey. I hope you all have a wonderful day and happy sketching.